Lou, you live in Wolverhampton, you play for TNS Ladies. How did you come to bridge that gap?
Well, I was at Wolves as a kid, so Wolverhampton Wolves makes sense. And then I went to uni, and the only football that I played was with the uni team. And so when I finished uni, I joined up at Ulscott, which is another Shropshire team, and obviously TNS fans will definitely know. We played Ulscott, and we played TNS here, and we got absolutely thumped. I think it was 9-1, and that was the first time that I'd ever saw TNS, and I literally loved everything about it. I liked the players; they're not a horrible bunch. They're hard-working, they're honest. The facilities, I've said this time and time again. There's teams that play in WS2. It may be even WS1 that don't have facilities that we have on offer. In the women's game especially, it's second to none. And the management, to be honest, there's always been good things going on at TNS. So yeah, that was the main reason that sort of drawn me to the club.
That's fantastic, and you have been here 3 seasons, so you are enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. I think season on season we've constantly improved. The first season I just found myself bedding in because they'd had a solid group of girls. There was a solid spine for sort of 2-3 seasons prior to me joining, so it was hard to sort of displace any of those. So the first sort of season I found myself just sort of trying to make it into the team. I achieved that under Joe Thompson, played regularly, obviously we won the treble, got promoted. So yeah, I mean it's been a constant journey, but I just constantly feel like we're improving as well, and I think that's the main thing that you want to be getting out of your game.
And in football, change is part of the game. Well, you've played under Joe Thompson, as you said, Pete Wilson, and now Andy Williams. What's it like to play? We'll come to Andy in a moment, of course, because he's the present manager. But what's it like to play under different managers?
Yeah, it takes a little bit to adapt as well, because they've got very different mentalities, different styles. Joe, for instance, I really like Joe. He's top manager, I think, because he knows what players need what. So he knows when someone needs an arm around them, and he also knows when someone needs a good talking to. And there was times last season where we put ourselves out there to be the best team, and there was times where we didn't perform as such. And Joe wouldn't be afraid to let you know that, if you're going to go around saying you're this, this and this, and you better get out there on a Sunday and show it. And I really like that. That worked for me. It really brought out the best of me. Pete was just a brilliant coach. His football knowledge was second to none in terms of his style of play, what he wants, how he visualises the game. He does know his stuff in that aspect. So again, I did learn a lot from Pete. And now Andy, it is tough sort of adapting to the changes. But I also think it improves you as a player, trying to sort of tick all those boxes, because then you've got more to offer, more to your game. So yeah, I think that's been part of my journey here, and I have enjoyed playing under the different managers.
That's excellent. You've got something from each of them. And talking of changes, one of the things now is that you train twice a week instead of once, Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when we were interviewing for this new manager, when Pete decided that he was going to step down, and obviously Charlotte, our captain, was going to the preliminary interviews for the managers. I did message Canlett and say, put feelers out there for training twice a week. I'm in the army, so I'm massive on my phys anyway. But I think to be playing at this level, most of the teams in our league are training twice a week. And last season, I think mentally wise, we switched off a little bit in games, and ultimately I do think that comes down to fitness. We were a bit fatigued, we switched off, and we got punished, especially in the last sort of 10 minutes. So training twice a week to me is godsend. The pre-season has been an absolute graft though, and his intensity that he asks from you is second to none. He's constantly on your case, but he doesn't ask anything that he's not willing to put in as well. So it is tough, but it is also very rewarding.
And as far as pre-season's concerned, you played a number of games. Abergavenny at home, lost, went down there to South Wales and won on the return. Stoke City was the final pre-season game. That was last weekend. That was certainly a tough test for you. How did you cope with that personally and as a team?
Oh, definitely. Stoke, obviously league above us. They play such an attractive style of football. Everyone in their team is technically gifted. The central midfielders are so good on the ball, and their defensive back line are physically big, tall, strong, and again they've all got good feet and can play out from the back. So in terms of their quality, it was understandably going to be there. But from the off, they were just on us. Their intensity, they dictated play completely. They made us chase them. And for the first for the first 45 minutes, we struggled to get to grips with that. We went in at half time, 3-0 down. Andy obviously come in, calm as you like, come in with a set of opinions, what he could see from the sideline, told us it was really simple errors really, just pushing players on, closing the person in possession a lot quicker because we're giving them too much time to get the head up, and players of that quality, they are going to consistently pick those balls out, they're going to punish you, they're going to put the shots away. One of their goals, the third goal, is an absolute screamer. I know keeper's getting near it, but again, that initial pressure on the ball would have sort of possibly stopped that effort going in. But second half, as I say, we come out and we completely and utterly took the game to Stoke. We were all over them. We nicked a goal, Ridge broke free and obviously tucked it away, as she does, which took it to 3-1. And then to be fair, we were all over them, and then it was just a sloppy bit of a scramble in the box. They nicked one, 4-1, and it just kind of took the fizz out of our game a little bit, and that is how it finished, 4-1. But I mean, 4-1 against a very good Stoke side. I was quite proud, and to be honest, I learnt a lot. I mean, the striker that I came up against, she was really decent, she was really strong, she constantly had arms around the back here. You could tell she's played at a decent standard for a long time. She was strong but also pacey, good in the air, neat first touch, and she was very good at holding the ball up, waiting to get some of the other players in play. So it's one of them, as a defender you've got, especially as a centre-back, you've got to make that decision. Are you going to win it, or are you going to just sort of hold her up, let your team get shape? So in terms of the game, it was brilliant for the whole team, and me personally, yeah, I took a lot away from it.
Well, that's pre-season. This coming weekend, the rubber hits the road, so to speak.
Yeah.
The league kicks off proper. You've got a tough test on opening day.
Yeah, Still City, good team, good outfit. They're very organised. They work hard, and they've been together a while in the sense that the same group of girls. They've got a good core, and they do work hard. So they'll make us work for a result. And they've got some very physical players as well. I remember them from last season. They're very, very strong. They're tough to bully off the ball. But yeah, so there will be a good test. But I definitely fancy our chances. I think they finished 6th last season, slightly below us. But on our pitch, it's obviously a great surface. It's flat. The ball zips along it. It's quite wide. It's long. And I think fitness-wise, I think we'll have the better on them. And we've got some excellent ball players in our team. So when we get down and we get the ball down and we play, I definitely fancy 3 points from the first game. But I don't underestimate Still City in any way, shape or form.
Well, Luke, thank you for your time this evening, and we wish yourself and the team, of course, all the very best for this coming weekend and the